Hello, everyone. Good day. No matter where you are, good evening, good morning, good day. Hope that the video finds you in well spirits. In our Inkverse Chronicles Writer's Journey, our next presenter is Bruce. Bruce is going to share his stories and writing experience from within the program, and I hope that you enjoy the stories. All right, let's welcome Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
Hi,
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing good.
Good. Now, we are getting ready to share your private stories that you wrote all on your own. I wanted to ask, though, before we begin, how do you feel about your writing within this school year and whether or not if the program you feel like supported you on this writing journey?
I feel like the this helped me a lot with my writing. It helped me write stronger and more essays that I could before. It helped me improve my writing skills, and it also was really fun doing this because now I can look back at these slides and remember how this class helped me with my writing.
Awesome. And would you suggest it like for anyone else who feels like they could use some support in their writing?
Yes, I would definitely. This really helps a lot.
And then my last question to you would be because we've covered so many different styles, informative, narrative, um, uh, creative writing, and so forth, which one has been your favorite to write?
I think the adventure stories have because you really get to create your own imaginary story that you can, you know,
Okay,
yourself.
great, great. Well, let's go ahead and begin. Your first story is called, oops, I don't know because I don't see the title. But
It's
go ahead. I guess it's what your rocket is heading to Mars.
it's the next slide. Yeah, this one was
Oh, okay.
okay. Why the zoo is the best place to have a field trip? Do you ever think of different places to go on field trips? I personally think the zoo is the best place to go to, especially if it's a school field trip. Zoos have so many educational benefits. I have three reasons why going to the zoo is the best field trip to go on. Zoos help with real world learning. A field trip to the zoo is one of the best tools that we can use to provide everyday students with real world experiences. It shows students how life outside is really like and how we can make it a better place outside of school. It can also contribute to learning, like in science and other subjects. It can also provide extra learning for kids. It can teach them about animals and plants. Zoos provide kids tools and activities that are not available at school. Sure, you have pencils, textbooks, and smartboards, but that is nothing compared to what is in the zoo. You feel free in nature, while in school you feel trapped in a place you don't really want to be. The environment feels so real. Zoos can go from penguin statues to tiger enclosures. When you're in a zoo, you feel like you're in a safe outdoor environment. Zoos help kids overcome fears of some animals. Me personally, I'm a little afraid of snakes, but going to the zoo changed. Zoos can turn your fears into things we love. Zoos also have an impact on kids' mental thinking, and it can help them learn more fun than they would in school. This is a huge benefit towards kids who are afraid of public speaking because they can learn without having to say a word to anyone. In conclusion, I think the zoo is the best way to educate students that want a further learning experience in an environmental habitat. These three reasons prove that the zoo is the best place for a school field trip.
How to play Roblox.
My game is called Roblox. I'll be informing you on how to play it in many different ways. The first way to play Roblox is making an account / signing and so on. The first step is to make one. To make one, you have to create a name that isn't already taken. The next step is for you to put a password that is at least 3 letters. After that, you have your games that have millions to choose from. To play one, you click a game and press play. My favorite one is Blade Ball. To play Blade Ball, you need to press the button and enter the game. After that, you will begin with a basic sword. The objective of the game is to get coins by making people get hit by the ball. When the ball is coming to you, tap the screen or F button to hit the ball. If you don't hit in time, the ball hits you and you're out. When you hit the ball, it goes to someone else and it's their turn to hit the ball. If you eliminate all the players, you are the last one there. You get 100 coins and you also get a win. There are also many seasons. Each season has their own special swords or explosions. There are crates to buy swords and explosions for 80 coins, which is better and easiest option to get swords and explosions. But to be able to play this game, you must have the ability to not get angry easily, because this game can get you mad very quickly. There are also daily rewards. Daily rewards can give you something out of these 3 options: special sword, coins, or explosions. One thing that I personally think is one of the best parts in the training is the training. Behind the wheel and the carts, there is a training session you go to. The ball comes to you and you have to hit it at the targets multiple times. That's how you play the game.
The benefits bringing lunch to school rather than eating school lunch.
One benefit that bringing your lunch to school is it allows better control of the food we eat. Some kids don't like the food that they get in school, which causes them to stop eating and cause health issues. This is a problem for parents because they can't technically force the kids to eat in school. On the other hand, when you bring your own food, you can adjust what the kid eats. You can also make a healthier choice or eat things that you don't have allergies to. You won't need to worry about the food whether you like it or not. In some schools, you have to pay for food, but making your own can also save money, especially for those who can't afford it. When when you get to school lunch, you aren't even sure if you're going to get lunch. On half days, especially, some schools sometimes don't serve lunch. This leaves kids wondering if there will be any lunch, and some kids go to after schools that don't provide food. In the end, it is better to be prepared and bring your own lunch to school. In my experience, I used to only eat school lunch, but there was a problem. I always got food I didn't like. I told my mom that I started not to like the school lunch, and she started making it for me. That's when I started liking lunch and having a little snack for later. My mom started giving me food that I like and would eat. I actually started looking forward to lunch. I also sometimes want to eat the school lunch and feel weak. Now I have the food that I need to fuel me up for the rest of the day. Some kids stop eating, like I mentioned earlier. They don't have any energy for fun activities at the end of the day. They start to not like they start to not like school and may give up some fun hobbies because of it. This is why I strongly believe that kids should bring their own lunch to school. The benefits of bringing your own lunch to school cover health to cover to school cover health reasons and general reasons like control over food. It can help you with providing energy so that it doesn't cause health issues and lost interest in hobbies due to low energy.
I went to my grandpa's planet.
2034, February 4th. I was in my rocket heading towards Mars. It was a smooth flight. I watched YouTube on the built-in in the built-in 42-inch TV and drank Kool-Aid while biting into crunchy granola bars. All until I was awoken from my nap to hear a large bang. I quickly rushed to the control/pilot center. I looked on I looked on the map and I was in shock. I had woken up to see that something had hit the launch mode, and I had traveled 75 galaxies while I was asleep, far from Mars. I quickly saw my drink can that had that I had drank earlier. It earlier had hit the lever and made us travel 75 galaxies. I felt so dumb, letting something so stupid happen. But I realized that I felt a big bump earlier, so I went to check it out. I saw I saw many bumps on my rocket and a little meteorite. I realized I had passed right through a meteorite shower. I saw a pinkish color outside the window. I took a step outside and I saw a whole new planet. Orange green orange green pink leaves and fuzzy baby blue small creatures. I had soon realized that these creatures were the ones that he had been searching for. These were the pictures my grandfather wrote in his journal. This was this was the planet my grandfather had crash landed on and lived on. I quickly took out my grandfather's notebook and started scrambling through the pages. Once I found it, I yelled. I quickly ma- I quickly matched the drawing he had drawn on the paper with the yellow plants. I knew that if my grandfather had lived here, then it's safe for me too. And there's no way to go back because the space pod is too small. So I'll just live here until I pass on. I can continue my grandfather's notebook and write before my passing before my passing days. I'll send my notebook in the space pod to Earth to my kids. Then one day they will see this place too. I'm definitely going to miss everybody, especially my family members. But I know it's for a good cause. Maybe my notebook will let other explorers visit. Maybe my notebook will make history. Maybe I just found a safe spot for humans to live when the sun explodes. This alien planet was a great discovery.
Why the moon rotates.
One day, Zeus was taking a walk on Mount Olympus. He passed a god named Castakis, ruler of all planets. He was suspicious because of the way he walked and by the look on his face. He decided to go a little snooping around his lair on Mount Olympus, and he found countless plans to take over Zeus's role. Kostakis wasn't just a god, he was a god of many planets and had a lot of control. Zeus was jealous of him and tried to warn all the gods about his plan, but none of them listened to Zeus. So Zeus went out to confront Kostakis. He later found out that the reason all the gods had turned him down was because Kostakis already made a plan to get rid of Zeus. Kostakis believed Zeus was such a bad guy because he was very greedy and took everything for himself. At this point, there was nothing that Zeus could do, but then he got a very clever idea. He decided that he would do what he had done to all the people who betrayed him, including the Titans. He would punish him and make him rotate the moon for all of eternity. Zeus would have the sun god Helios take over as the ruler of the sun and make the sun shine burning rays of light which would attack Helios. The sun would burn his skin off every day. Every day he would grow a new layer of skin just for it to be melted off by the sun. Every day he would beg for forgiveness because he didn't want to live this terrible life anymore. But unfortunately, what he did was too severe for forgiveness. Once he even tried to escape by throwing a chunk of moon at the sun god and trying to escape. However, that didn't go so well for him. Zeus decided to give him more punishment because he was being more selfish and disobedient. Zeus decided to make him push and rotate the moon around the planet Earth. But there was a small problem. This was a punishment, but also a reward. While he pushed and rotated the moon around the Earth, he had about half a day of shade from the burning sun's rays. The fact that he had a few hours of shade left him with pleasure for about as long as he was in the shade. There was an even bigger problem though. That half of the day he had shade was enough for him to do anything because the gods couldn't see him for that time. Because of this, they had to make a prisoner from the underworld watch him. They had to watch him and immediately report to Zeus if he's doing any suspicious behavior. Due to Kostakis' action, the moon rotates.
Money literally started growing on trees.
One day, a boy named Joy was taking a walk with his friends. He was so in the moment he didn't notice the difference with the trees around him, and neither did his friends. They went 1/2 mile without noticing until they went on their phones and saw videos on money on trees, and that's when they realized. They were so excited they couldn't wait to pick trees for money. They ran to the nearest tree and they got picking like no tomorrow. An hour had gone by and they had already picked $30,000, which they were so happy they couldn't hold it in. They went spending like no tomorrow. They went to Target and all different stores. After that, they came out looking like Harry Styles. Later that day, they all went home and put all the Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Zara clothes in their closet. After Joy organized everything, he went to his living room to watch TV. Little did he know he was about to find out something that could ruin his whole career. So he sat down and turned the TV on. He went to the news channel because he thought that he could learn something about these trees and what is even going on. He immediately saw a picture of himself and his friends. It turned out they were walking in a red zone area formed by the government that hadn't been surrounded by a fence yet. And that they had just stole around $90,000 in cash from the government. It turns out that they were using artificial trees to try to grow money, and it had worked, but all of it had just been stolen by 3 12-year-old kids. Next morning, he knows he gets 30 notifications on his phone. They were calls from his friends. He immediately called back, but the time he called back, it was too late. Police knocked down his door and took him into jail. He went to jail for 3 months, but the government realized it was a mistake. They didn't know, so they let him go for free. After they let him go, the police asked him one question. They asked him for the price of $30,000 that he stole. Was there anyone else that you know who stole money? Joy was left in a tricky position. He wanted a lot of money, but he was a loyal friend and did not want to rat them out. He decided to say no. Little did he know he should have just told them who else took the money. The police saw camera footage of all 3 boys taking the money from the trees. They already knew that there were more people involved, so they threw him back in. They took him in for interrogation, and he was forced to tell who it was. After that, all the friends broke up because of ratting and parents. That is what happened to Joy and his friends after Owen started falling from trees.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing these stories. And I definitely want to publicly say that I am very proud of you and the work that you have done.
Thank you.
Yes. Hold on for me one second. Everyone, I hope that you have enjoyed these stories.